Hello there, I'm David Savigar of Kingsman Estate Agents, and I've just put together this brief video which I'm going to try to keep to under 5 minutes and keep it really to the point with regards to some of the questions that we've been asked from some of our clients over the past few weeks as to how we forecast the housing market playing out for the remainder of 2020. Well, from where we find ourselves now, let's jump back to 2019. One of the greatest hurdles to the market through that year was Brexit and the uncertainties over the economic implications of us being in or out of Europe. With those passed and the decision made, we were hopeful that 2020 was going to be a fantastic platform to build some momentum and start to see the number of transactions increase. Obviously, little did we know that this was going to come our way. But I think my reflective view now on where we find ourselves is let's jump back even further to 2008 when we saw the financial meltdown and crisis hit this country, which had just as significant an impact on the number of housing transactions. How do we differ now from where we are now to where we were then? Well, 2008, the mortgage market effectively withdrew completely. Cash became king as a lot of the lenders had probably stretched too far and didn't want to provide any products. There wasn't any confidence at all in the market, and certainly in the housing market. Property prices had accelerated at such a pace, arguably unsustainably, and that's where the world, if you like, caught a cold. This time round, the differentials are that the lessons that we learned from 2008 were the government sat and stress tested a lot of the mortgage companies and said to them, look guys, we need to make sure the banks can still continue to operate if unforeseen circumstances come about. That hopefully will pay dividends now, and we'll start to see an increase in activity or stabilising the market or the economy as we start to move forward. We certainly hope so. Speak to a broker. There are still some good competitive rates out there. Interest rates are still low. So that's one comparison to where we were then to where we are now. Secondly, I think socially the dynamics and people's mentalities have changed. Certainly the view has been to keep a rainy day fund. Perhaps not really borrow beyond your means. Don't stretch yourself too far. Keep it affordable. Thirdly, if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. And I think those key principles now, again, will put us in a good stead moving forward. So, as to the housing market, if all remains equal, can we still start to trade? Can we still handle transactions? I believe so. Post-Brexit, and when I refer to post-Brexit, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying that we're through it. I'm just looking at a period now that having completed the lockdown, we've got to get back to some form of normality. Life has to start churning. The economy has to start moving again. So what's that going to look like? Well, you're probably going to find that we as agents are conducting viewings with masks, gloves, wiping down services and doorknobs and so forth after you've left. And the time that you'll be allocated to a property will be reduced. Equally, you'll probably be only able to view with the decision makers. We won't be able to go around with the wider family. Those are some short-term implications that once we have greater detail with, we'll share with you. But the outlook equally is going to be that you've never had probably more information as a buyer and as a seller available at your fingertips with the introduction of video tours and viewings, Google Maps, Street Views, giving you the ability to check on proximity to infrastructure and so forth, that can really save you some time before making that booking to walk through a door. Because the inconvenience, not only to yourselves as buyers, but also to the sellers in preparing their home and vacating now, keeping that safe, will mean that you can be as informed before you walk over that threshold, which I think is a fantastic thing. So the dynamics of the housing market have changed quite quickly, and those abilities now will hopefully save all of our time and offer a bit of prudence, if you like, in moving forward cautiously but safely. So, where do we see ourselves? I personally think with the housing market being kept in check through the last couple of years and prices at a relatively calm pace, we shouldn't see too much adjustment as we go through the remainder of 2020. Mortgages are still available. Buyers are probably we're trying to find a fair price, as well as the sellers will be looking to achieve a fair price. So fair is the key. We have to keep those rules of engagement true, because equally people's mortgages are more than affordable, so if it doesn't make sense for them to move, or the affordability calculator doesn't work, they won't move. So we've got to keep those in balance. And I think as long as we work on the premise that people are happy to move for whatever circumstances, and it could well be that their circumstances have changed through this period. Some families might be sitting there saying, house is currently too small for us, we want a bigger garden, we want to be closer to amenities, or we want to be out in the sticks. Some might be sitting there saying, gosh, we want to be closer to the family just in case any of these circumstances ever come to pass again. So there whole raft of reasons as to why people's dynamics or lifestyle choices might change, which I think will be a positive to the market and keep a bit of momentum as we move through. Again, with an element of caution, but work with the right agent, be as informed as you possibly can be before making that step out, and I think we can achieve your goals. So if you've got any further queries, questions regarding the market, your move, your purchase, etc., please feel free to give myself or one of the Kingsman team a call. Myself, Sue, Tom or Gemma, we're more than happy to help. And in conclusion, I've gone over my 5 minutes, but be positive, stay safe and keep well. All the very best.